So I grew up in Renmark, which is a lovely country town, and I suppose that means I've got a great affinity for the Borders. I had some wonderful teachers, and I think probably those teachers had a fairly instrumental part in getting me to be a teacher myself. I did my degree in biotechnology with honours. I had a year off, and then I applied to be a teacher to do the graduate diploma at Adelaide University. And I sat in my first lecture and knew I was in the right place. It was the best. I've taught in co-ed schools, I've taught in single-sex schools, at boys' schools, I've taught at Catholic schools, independent schools, government schools, and yeah, I've been at Seymour now for 20 years nearly, so it's like my home. Seymour for me is much more than just my job. I have two daughters, one of which has graduated from Seymour and one who's currently at Seymour. So it's not just my work, it's also my family. And when I think about my daughter's education and I was choosing which school would be best for them, I had to choose Seymour because I get the best view of what the teachers are like, and they are extraordinary. They have passion, they're committed, they work hard, and I can't imagine anyone teaching my daughters other than these wonderful teachers. The girls, I have to say, are extraordinary as well. I don't come to school for the marking, I come to the school because the girls that I teach are just wonderful. I'm a very tactile, hands-on learner. One of my top 5 strengths is creativity. So it's no surprise that I tend to be very keen on hands-on learning and teaching abstract concepts in really tactile ways. So I often use my necklace to describe what a complex polymer might be, and that my necklace is actually representing the atoms, and where they connect represents the energy that's stored between them. So I often wear my necklaces. Actually, one of my past students gave me a giant necklace and said, "Miss Harding, here's another macromolecule for your collection." In science, I think probably my strength of creativity has actually probably really helped me in many ways. For example, in Year 12, we have to come up with different practicals for them to do, and I hate doing the same practical twice, and so we've done all sorts of amazing things. We've fermented my sourdough, so I've grown buckets of sourdough and we've fermented that, and as I said, last year I was in my kitchen with my kombucha and we fermented that. My girls are studying koji rice in the graduate diploma. Koji rice is the precursor for miso and soy sauce, and we've looked at how the aspergillus spores ferment on those, and I've fermented kidney beans, and I've grown plants, and I've grown bacteria and algae, and my history is so rich here. I even have a cupboard with my name on it, labelled Nicky's Toys. My chemistry teacher when I was at school had a big poster above the whiteboard. We actually had whiteboards then. A big poster above the whiteboard, and it was printed in that old-fashioned printer paper, the printer paper with the holes. And it said, "If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right again." For me, I think that sits at the very core of the relationships I need to set up in the classroom. I need to make students feel like they can do it. Number one, I think that when students walk into your classroom, they should feel like they're the best thing that you've seen all day. Probably for me, the biggest way that I can get a student to thrive is to have that relationship with them. And school's hard. Year 12's hard. I've had students who might have failed a test, and watching them pick up their socks and move on and increase and improve and improve and improve, that's just magic. It's magic. Teaching's magic. It is.